Hello, everyone. From psilocybin circles in Aspen to ibogaine treatments in Mexico, lucky for us, our options in psychedelic retreats are growing every day. But what is it really like to go on a psychedelic retreat? That's the question we're answering in today's Mind Shifting Moments. I'm your host, Margaret Williamson, head of partnerships at Nucleus, where we work to destigmatize the industry and grow organizations with power and data and tools. I'm so excited to have our today's guest, Eugene, the owner and co-founder of Floresta Retreat, joining me today to help answer the question, what is it really like to go on a psychedelic retreat, specifically a ketamine-assisted retreat? Eugene?
Hey, Margaret. Can you hear me okay? There might be some feedback.
See how we can.
Hear me okay?
Is that good? Is that? I don't know.
Margaret, can you hear me okay now?
I think so. Is that good?
Yeah, sorry about that. So great to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So ketamine is a fantastic medicine, and being on a retreat is the place to do it, in our opinion. So what it's like is really wonderful. I mean, we like to compare it to what you can see in a clinic. You might come to a clinic and have a treatment and then be sent home in an Uber. While with a retreat, you have space and time to kind of unpack and really work with the medicine, and also have time for integration. So with our retreat, we spend time doing yoga and meditation, breath work, and we're giving space to not only work with the medicine, but have that time for integration and work with that space of heightened neuroplasticity to really optimize the treatment.
Right. Wow. Right. You answered kind of all those questions. That was a perfect answer, Eugene. But what I want to do is kind of back up. We're going to unpack it a little bit and say, all right, if I'm just surfing the web one day and I see your retreat pop up, why should that catch my eye? Who is the perfect candidate or perfect guest for one of your retreats?
Yeah, great question. So, we treat people with depression, anxiety, PTSD, OCD, and people that are looking for clarity in their life. Maybe they're dealing with addiction or problems in their relationships. So anybody can really qualify. I mean, truthfully, we're coming out of a pandemic, and for a year and a half, we were all kind of jailed in our house, and there's a lot of trauma that happened there with that, and a lot of stress. And most people do qualify for this treatment because when we dig deep enough, there really is some level of that. So there's not like one cookie cutter answer to who comes, but we get people as young as 23. We've treated people that are 85 with ketamine, all walks of life.
So interesting, because I think a lot of times when you talk about, we use words like addiction and PTSD, it's really easy for ourselves to say, oh, well, then that's not me, because we are still out and we're functioning every day. We're going through the motions, but you hit on something so profound that we all just spent the last 2 years in an environment that none of us had ever encountered before. And we were isolated and our whole entire world's changed. And that does create a ripple effect of anxiety and in these minor levels. So is that what it is? You guys can treat all levels of those types of indications?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, you hit on it. It was strange, right? We weren't expecting that, and here we are in our homes with our families, which for a lot of people that could be tough, right? 24 hours a day. So it's some there are extreme cases, and there's some that are minor, and that's okay too. Like there's nobody that like really wouldn't that would be disqualified because maybe they're just a little depressed or maybe just a little bit anxious.
Right. It's kind of like that term, you hear a little bit pregnant. No, it's kind of either you are or you aren't, exactly. Right? So in that, if you're open to all types of people, all types of levels of need, how do you guys put together the groups for each retreat?
Yeah, so it organically just happens, and we're lucky enough that the stars just align, that the right people come together. We get all walks of life. We get white, black, Asian, gay, straight, everyone, and it's a melting pot. It's really interesting because like in the beginning of the retreat, nobody knows each other, and it can be like just slightly awkward for a little bit. But once we have one session, it seems like all the walls and barriers start coming down. People really start opening up, and it really turns into like what we call our medicine family. There's a big, strong bond that happens with people that maybe would never really encounter each other in public. But yeah, I mean, organically people end up, on our website, or they're looking for, some treatment for depression, or maybe, sometimes even just people are looking for like a yoga or meditation retreat to create some peace. And then they see that this is a psychedelic treatment, it's possible, and they get curious and they dig deep enough and realize that, this could be helpful for them.
Yeah, that leads me to something I was thinking about. And, you talked about community and how you kind of create this sense of family, and how it's such a trend in vacationing right now to do on these big group vacations because we've been so isolated, or even, sign up as part of a group that's going on a vacation. Talk to me about why it's so unique to combine this sort of ketamine assisted therapy inside of a vacation setting.
Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting because right now, for a lot of people, money can be tough. We're coming out of a weird situation, and everybody goes on vacation. That happens, right? And we go and we spend tons of money, and we go on a cruise, and we drink alcohol, and then we come back, and we might not be feeling as good as we really thought we were going to. And unfortunately, ketamine therapy is not covered by insurance currently. So it's hard for people to say yes to spending money on their healthcare. But when we combine mental health care and a vacation like experience, it's easier to say yes, right? To combine those two things, to know, okay, I'm gonna have this 4-day retreat. I'm gonna be away from my life and recharge and rejuvenate and be in nature and have a beautiful experience, but also work on my mental health and come back feeling reset. So I think that's really where it is.
I mean, that does sound ideal. So now I'm tempted. So how would one prepare for a trip like that? I know to prepare on vacation, normally I just have to, send in my PTO order and pack my bags. But how would I prepare to go on a ketamine retreat?
Sure. Yeah. So it's a little bit easier than if you were gonna go to Peru and drink ayahuasca, right? There's not this long drawn out dieta or process of cleaning our body. But we do recommend that people start to journal or start to maybe meditate or get in touch with their intentions of why they're coming. But as far as preparation, typically once you register for the retreat, we'll sign up for a psychiatric evaluation with one of our clinicians. We meet with you over Zoom. We do a 40-minute psych consult and talk about your medications and your medical history, prescribe you the treatment, and then we get ready for the retreat. We have some beginning emails that kind of come out to you to prepare on what to bring with you, and then we get ready. It's really not too much that's involved, but we want to make sure that, you're ready to go.
What, I don't know how much you can share with us, but what are some of the questions that they would ask on that medical screening?
Yeah, I mean, some questions could be, about your past history with psychedelics, maybe the medications that you've taken, alcohol and drug use, maybe, if you have any health concerns, there are a couple things like heart issues or glaucoma or high intraocular pressure that could be things that could bar you from the treatment, but there's not too many. Maybe if someone's had suicidal ideation or neurological disorders, things like that.
Wonderful. And then what type of medical, trained therapists are on site during the actual retreat? Or is
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
support?
Yeah, that's a great question. So typically we have me. I'm an integration facilitator. I've been working with ketamine for a long time. I've seen, at this point, thousands of clients. Also Shannon, who's our psychiatric nurse practitioner. She's the founder of the company. She's prescribed ketamine to more clients than just about anybody as far as a practitioner in the United States. She has a lot of experience with dosing. We also have a psychiatrist. His name's Pavel, that works on our team. And then we have different nurses and therapists that will come in and work with us throughout at different retreats, depending on the need.
Wonderful. And before we get into the nitty gritty, right, what kind of follow-up care happens, right? So say, right, we talk about a normal vacation. It's sort of like, see you later. I just looked through the pictures. But what kind of lasting effects happen once you're kind of finished with those 4 days?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So first of all, right after the retreat, 2 or 3 days after, we do a one-on-one integration Zoom call with each one of our clients to check in, to see how they're doing, and to tie in anything. Then about a week after, we do a group Zoom integration circle, like a reunion with all of our clients from that retreat. And then every month indefinitely, because we're building a community, a family here, with all of our clients, we do a group integration circle forever. And that's all free. We also support our clients with a supplement that we really believe in. That's trace minerals and micronutrients that can help to kind of like level out their brain. It's really a powerful supplement that I've been using for many years. And we also offer additional retreats if people need it. For some people, 3 powerful treatments would be the breakthrough that they need, and they won't need that much more. And for some people, maybe with treatment-resistant depression or anxiety, may need a little bit more. So we have continuing retreats, and we also offer at-home treatment with sublingual ketamine, where the ketamine would be delivered to their home through a pharmacy, and we would meet with them over Zoom.
Very interesting. I love to hear about all that follow-up care. So with that, let's dive into what type of brain shifts or transitions, or, what does it feel like physically to be undergoing a ketamine treatment?
Yeah, so that's a really great question because it's different for everyone. There's like no cookie cutter answer to that. It's hard to tell you exactly what's going to happen in the deep levels of your psyche. However, for the majority, most of our clients, we experience a pretty consistent, thing that happens in the different levels. So throughout the weekend, we're going to do 3 deep dives with ketamine. There's an intramuscular injection, and each session typically we'll work with you in the beginning to kind of go a little bit lighter, dip our toes in the pool just to see how we work with the medicine, and then we may increase or decrease depending on your experience with the medicine. Most of our clients report that they may feel like they're in a dreamlike state. They may feel like they're floating or flying. Typically, this feeling is very loving and gentle and warm and makes you feel like you're being held or swaddled. And then as we go deeper with the medicine, we may see colorful visions. We may feel like we're in a different dimension. Even deeper, maybe you could experience full ego dissolution, where that ego is dissolved. There's no mind chatter. And just full presence in the experience. And then even further, maybe having an out of body experience, which is quite wonderful. Maybe it sounds scary for some. However, this medicine has like a very beautiful like anti-anxiety effect. So it's super relaxing, but we can kind of unzip the meat suit and get to fly around the cosmos. So people can report that they are experiencing, a one with the universe type feeling, or maybe even having a mystical or spiritual experience where they're meeting creator or floating around the earth with angels. So we hear a lot of different stories. It's hard to say exactly what's going to happen to you during your experience, but most of our clients really like come out of it and say, wow, like that was so powerful. And I would say for me personally, like I've tried a lot of psychedelic medicines in different parts of the country, working in the jungle and the Amazon. And I would say that a deep IM ketamine session is about the most profound psychedelic experience, and also gentle psychedelic experience that I've ever witnessed myself.
Amazing. Well, it sounds very interesting. Now, tell me why then the environment is so important, because, it sounds like that's what the medicine can do, whether you're in a clinical setting, but why the Catskills? Why did you guys pick this location? Why is it important for us to do it outside? Is it important for us to do it outside? Should we not be outside? All of that.
Yeah. So the sessions are done inside because we want to be protected from the elements and the rain and to be safe. However, we spend time going outside after our sessions, for walks and just being in nature. But the Catskills, it's first of all, it's a beautiful place. Like the place we do it is on 1,400 acres. It's just really stunning. The vibration of that energy is powerful. So doing it in a bland clinic, I think it works. However, it's a little bit clinical, right? So being able to do it in a peaceful nature setting allows for us to kind of like settle down and really meld into the experience. The next part is its proximity to New York City. Most of our client base is in New York. So it's very easy for New Yorkers to take a car and drive. It's a beautiful drive, an hour and a half to come up to the Catskills and sit with the medicine. It's really a pleasure to be there. The weather is gorgeous during the summer, and the air is fresh. The stars are nice at night. So
Right.
that's why we chose it.
Well, it sounds beautiful. That leads me to the next one. What does one pack to go on a retreat like this?
Yeah, so we have most everything for you, but it's good to bring a pair of noise canceling headphones because it is a fully immersive experience. You're going to need to bring your smartphone because we're going to be using Spotify to have your curated playlist, playing through the speakers. We'll have pillows and blankets and everything else that you need. If somebody wants to maybe bring a special pillow or a special blanket, something that makes them feel cozy or safe, that's encouraged, of course. And then stuff to enjoy the outdoors with, little extra layers of clothes, maybe some boots or something that's going to be comfortable for hiking in. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is supplied for you.
That's wonderful. When you hear, I want to run through, quickly the itinerary, what some of the events would be. And I think sometimes when you hear things like meditation circle or some kind of ceremony, you feel like you should pack something fancy. Should they pack something fancy?
Yeah, no, we want you to be comfortable. And I think it's important that you feel good in your own skin and be in comfortable clothes. So no, there's no dress code and
there's no photo op backdrop.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take some photos if you're open to it. Like, we're not taking any photos like during the sessions, but like we do have some times, we build a family. So we take some photos together, like group photos, if it's something that everybody feels comfortable with. But as far as, I'm sorry, but tell me the question one more time. I lost.
Yeah, we were talking about things to bring, things not to bring. I know you had mentioned that most things were provided. Maybe you can run us through some of those things that are provided.
Oh yeah, no, I think you were saying about the itinerary. That's what it was. I apologize.
Oh yes, that too.
So in the beginning of the weekend, we come together and we typically do our introductions. We start with a group meditation and kind of talk about working with the ketamine and what to expect. And then soon after, we get into working with the medicine. So we'll go into our first session, and the session's about an hour and a half long. Then we go into eating dinner together, which is a beautiful experience because the integration just starts already happening naturally during that process. Then we come back for our group integration circle. And that's, by the time we start is around 4:00. So that's pretty much the end of the evening for Thursday. And then on Friday, we're starting in the morning with some meditation. There's yoga class. There's opportunity to go to the spa. And then we're having another session around 4:00 with the ketamine. Same thing, dinner afterwards. And we do a traditional Chinese medicine session where we work with some energy healing from our teacher from Boston, from the Oriental Culture Institute. We like to really, share that with the world. Then we're also having an integration circle at the evening after that. On Saturday, we're starting our medicine session in the morning. So we're skipping breakfast. We're having our ketamine session earlier in the morning, having lunch. And then we go into a break time where people can go to the spa and get acupuncture or massage or a mud bath treatment, or just go take a walk in nature or take the bikes around. There's a beautiful path to do that. And then we go into our breathwork session. So we like to teach Wim Hof breathing. So we go into a deep breathwork session that can be really powerful, and then finish with our integration circle. And then on Sunday, we will wake up and go for a beautiful nature hike together, a walking meditation, and then go into our closing and integration final circle. Then we go into what we call our indigenous medicine ceremony. So the name Floresta it means forest in Portuguese. And we studied in the Amazon jungle working with plant medicine and shamans there. And we really love what they do about healing together in circle, and as a tribe, and, being around the fire and singing songs. So we really like to add that element to what we're doing with this Western medical treatment. So we offer medicines from the Amazon jungle. One is hape, which is like a sacred tobacco snuff, and the other one is sananga, which are visionary eye drops. Both medicines that are non-psychoactive, totally legal, but they help us. They're stimulating, but they help us to kind of ground, bring us back to earth, so we can kind of move forward in our life. And that'll be the culmination of the weekend. Then we have lunch, do our final goodbyes, and then set sail for home. Sorry, I know that was a lot there, but I wanted to give you the snaps.
Yes. No, it sounds wonderful. It sounds expensive. Now, can we talk pricing? I don't know if you want to share pricing, or I know what's unique about you guys that you also have some scholarship opportunities. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, so ketamine therapy is generally not inexpensive. Typically, when you go to clinics, ketamine treatment, when it comes to intramuscular injection or IV therapy, is typically $500 to $1,000 per treatment. So we're doing 3 in this retreat, and there's a lot of facilitation, and the psychiatric evaluation is included. So the typical tuition for our retreat in upstate New York is $2,500. that covers all of that. And then you pay the accommodations so to the resort, depending on what the price is for the resort at the season. Now, as far as that, like, we understand that not everyone, can afford this, and we feel for those people. So we have developed a scholarship fund, and we just awarded somebody a scholarship fund for this month. And typically every month we do 1 or 2 or 3 scholarships to pay for their entire retreat. So that way they can come, because, we really want this to be more accessible. And we are expanding to other states where we can do this at a better price point. We have a location in Michigan where it'll be like 40% less. In Highland, Michigan, August 12th is the next retreat. And we're working on a location in Miami, Florida, to be able to bring this to more people, so that way it could be more affordable.
Wonderful. Well, it sounds like you guys have thought of everything, and I'm excited to see the growth. Right now, how often are you doing the retreats, and how big are the group sizes?
Yeah, great question. So typically every month we do a retreat, sometimes a little bit more depending on our schedule, but it's been pretty steady every month. And then our groups start at usually 15, and we've had retreats up to 32, but we typically now cut it off at 25 just to keep it pretty intimate.
Wonderful. Well, please let our audience know what's the best way and the fastest way that they can book at the retreat, because I have a feeling they're going to book up pretty fast, especially for the summer months.
Yeah, I mean, we have a retreat. We only have a few spots left. So if you want it, I would say do it soon. June 23rd at Yo1. The website's yo1.com if you want to take a look at the resort. But our website is Floresta Retreat. That's Floresta retreat.com. And you can go and scroll to the bottom, click on the retreat and book there. Another thing would be best is if you could book an exploratory call with me. That's totally free. You go on our website and book an exploratory call. We'll chat for 15 minutes and kind of make sure it's a right fit for you. And yeah, that's the best. But we'd love to see you. June 23rd is coming up very shortly. And then June 28th or July 28th is the next retreat after that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I hope that we have shifted some of your mindsets during this call. I know that mine has definitely shifted when it comes to ketamine-assisted retreats. So thank you for joining us, Eugene, and thank you all for tuning in. We will see you on the next episode of Mind-Shifting Moments.
Yeah, thanks, Margaret. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
See you soon.